It's your boy, Barakale Bitoke Met, Mishimano, Push Patricia Pulani, Barakankani, Kamuri, it was a fault there for another intro.
Hey, I get a Kamaka, hey, you see my new Amazada. Come, okay, so today full house. Today.
Full house. This thing is growing.
Which thing? Oh, this podcast. Okay. Yeah, Maria Holland. Today we are full house. You already know Shongi, right?
Shongsta is back.
Yeah,
back.
welcome yourself. Welcome yourself.
I always do, guys. Hi, Shongi, I'm back.
Okay, hi. Today we're another member.
Long anticipated.
Like this one, even let's go by. I was supposed to be the first.
I was supposed to be the first guest. Yeah.
Barakibo.
Finally, I'm so excited.
What's it?
Karamo!
What's it?
Karamo, you're fire.
You can look wherever you want.
Okay, so hi, I guess my name is Karabo and
Yeah, her name is Karabo.
yeah. Oh, Luza yake Karabo, wananyana wa Mosotho.
Ayore, wana ntate le memosi ya osuwa bitumelo le gorisana.
No, we welcome you.
Welcome
myself.
Oh yeah, Karabo is a prayer warrior, guys. So she's leading prayer. She's an immaculate singer as well.
Immaculate.
Yeah, ke upulusito hoya ka yena. Nagitsi the actions
100%.
louder than
100%.
Arupulusito and stuff like that. So Matt. Oh, cool and fun.
No, surely we'll get a bigger space. I can join theory. Flat the Evan
Oh,
Kawaki.
Are Shongi.
Urle.
What did you say? I said sure.
Urle surely.
Surely we'll get a bigger space, man. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just glad Karabo is finally here. Shongi, you know, always a pleasure to work with
Thank
you,
you.
man.
Also, don't stress, get the meme.
Yeah.
Stress.
Like the only person
So you're
who's
basically the first person.
You are the first guest because this one she just rock up and then all of a sudden she's part of us.
Exactly.
Hey, yo. Yeah, all of a sudden she's part of us. Anyways, Tosh Mfanaga didn't say Joe. This is what I was saying. We are on it now. This is what I was saying, Mfanaga. I was saying, Joe, like my problem. I don't know if it's a problem, Joe, but it's a question for all of us. Do you think the art of worship is a mastered craft? What do I mean?
What do you mean?
What do I mean? I mean, beside it just being performance, but I feel like if you watch different videos, it's almost the same thing, different songs. In a way, in most of the artists, like they just doing the same thing. Like I feel like I don't know who's this for. And then why Obolela Lemang?
Yeah.
Wantar. Or I don't know what you're going through. And by that time you find out, so are we saying or there won't be a setup where no one is going through anything? It's just a setup where you're coming to worship God. Like you can't just say, I don't know what you're going through, I don't know why, but he cares for you and stuff like that. Like everywhere we hear that. Do you think it's a mastered craft most of the time and they're doing the same thing? I don't know.
Now I'll start with me. And then that I give a right.
Yes.
The thing is, I feel like you're saying, right? It's a thing of we know that somebody obviously somewhere is going through something. So that's why we use those kind of things when you're starting to worship, right? It's that in a crowd of 10 people, at least one
is going through something.
At least one is going through something. So I think it's that thing of we know like this is life. Like get away, Joe man. But Baba go what? I get. I might be wrong, as I'm always wrong.
Can I interject?
Sure. Don't ask. More roots than affair.
So the thing with that is, I think it can both be, yes, a master thing, but also something that needs to happen at that moment. Because unfortunately, some people do need a reminder, right? Or yes, you're going through this, but remember that God still loves you. You know, we still need a reminder. As much as you could think it's mustard, but it's always important to remind people that God still loves you, God cares about you. Because I personally, sometimes it's very easy to forget when the weight of life is upon you, right? So it could be a mustard thing, but it also, I think it's important to be reminded, even in that time of worship, or yes, you know, God, you see me and you've reminded me through this person that you love me and you still care about me, you know?
Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So everybody should now say it now. It's okay.
No, I'm not saying...
Because sometimes for me, worship hybrid, vocally you're not coming through as a as a singer, right? So the thing is, the craft you're trying to push is not coming through. So I call it a gimmick.
Yes.
You find gimmicks now to tell us, or hey, something. But I might be wrong.
Bon, I think it's a baraking eshkanas quest. I think there's so many aspects around it, because then I'm saying it from that perspective. Karabo, maybe Kiki Sunday, ne? The song is not working, the band is not coming through. You understand?
Today.
And then you start to say, yeah, in the baraking, when worship started in the Bible, there was no music. Tell God how great He is. Yes. And tell, we don't need instruments. Tell Him how great. I don't care. And then I feel in my heart that there's something. You understand all of those things. Sometimes even provoking. I don't know if that's the word I should use. Provoking. Why is one this string studying with one fella? I try one. I try one go C sharp. Why is one go C sharp? We look at the strings. You're already closing your eyes. Because we know these things. Our emotions are used to these things. So how are they sounding like this? And then young connector, it means it's anymore.
So long as we have emotions, right? So we should separate our emotions from our worshiping God. So what you're saying right now is that emotion I tend to feel when worshiping God.
Yeah.
What you're saying?
Because most of the time, Tosh, I was a worship team leader. Now most of the time I would cry when I was singing. And then I can no. Listen, I want to tell you most of the time when I was crying, it was not because I'm crying because I'm feeling the song. I'm crying because of the things that I did yesterday.
Really?
Yes, I'm not the only one. No, it's not everyone. It's not everyone who's holy. Listen, it's not everyone who's holy. Some people when they cry, Tosh, you know.
So are you saying we need to separate emotion?
Thank you.
Is that what you're saying?
Then
we
that's
must
what
take
I'm-
out
Yes.
emotion.
Emotions have to be there, but I'm saying sometimes there are things that can be done to trigger emotions, and then it doesn't necessarily mean we are in spirit just because we see few tears in the setup.
Now, so very emotion pila war haitse.
Yeah, tsena.
It's an name.
Utlwela Tosh. I'm saying there are instances where we know how to provoke the emotions. During a song, Tosh, I can remember or kana mujimu you are faithful, mara nakanama makana kuka kanama magogo, and then I start crying.
Okay, but are we speaking from the side of the worship team, or are you speaking from the side of the people in the crowd?
Even people in the crowd, sometimes when they raise their hand, they jump, they cry. They are remembering the things that they were doing yesterday. When
Part of the
But
soul
isn't
is an
this-
guy.
Which-
Because I'll put emotion as the soul, right? So we have the spirit, we have the body, we have the soul, right? All of these things must work together to worship God.
they must
Yes.
work together.
So
They
that's
must
why
do
I
what?
don't understand how we remove
They must do what?
emotion.
Work together.
They must work together. I'm saying sometimes you take the spirit, you are not in spirit, you are in your emotions.
But you're supposed to be in your emotions.
So you
And
know-
you're also supposed to be in spirit.
No, but you're supposed to say,
So
Lord,
how do you
yesterday
differentiate between
I did
spirit and
things.
emotion?
Yesterday I did things. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Isn't that part of it?
No.
It's not.
Oh, what, Joe?
No.
So how are you gonna feel now remorse and that you wrong God
remorse. That's the word.
and stuff like that?
So just
Oma-
because you're feeling remorse doesn't mean you are in spirit, guys.
Yes, you are not in
So-
spirit,
so we
but
must-
your emotion helps you to get closer to God
Thank
as well.
you.
Because now I'm having
Thank
this
you.
emotional
Interject.
Yeah,
I think abang kutlo kareng interject karang.
Ah,
Or lona home kutlo.
I interjected.
God.
For me, I think this emotion thing, like he said, I agree we are three-part in one, basically. The soul, the spirit, and the body. And your soul is where your emotions and your
You're
thoughts...
dwelling, yes.
Yes, so to say you are able to separate your feelings from worshipping, I find it absurd.
Yeah.
Maybe separate is not the way.
How do you
Guys,
think-
guys,
Okay,
guys,
so
guys,
who are
guys,
father?
guys.
That all support.
When no, listen. When you're listening to soul music, I'm not talking about the soul. Or when you're listening to R&B or Amapiano, or when you're watching Netflix or everything, are you worshiping God? Do you think your soul is connected to the movie that you'll be watching? Can the movie make you emotional?
It can.
Yes.
It
It
can.
can.
Are you
Yes,
worshiping God?
100%.
Are you worshiping God?
No.
And then I'm saying there are things that they happen in the church. There are strings that when I go one, it triggers the emotions, not the spirit.
So how's that a problem?
Exactly.
It is a problem.
How is it a problem?
It is a problem.
What
Because
can I
I'm
say?
coming to God with everything. Do you get what I mean?
Okay, sharp. No. Arboele go spirit and emotion. How do we now separate that? Now I'm in the spirit and now I'm in emotions. Let's get there.
I'm saying most of the time we are in emotions, not in spirit.
Sharp.
Yes.
So most of the time, that means there's a time where you are in the spirit, right?
Yes.
We need to get to know when is this.
When
the
we are
spirit?
in the
When have you?
spirit.
Okay, when a person like
Most-
you were reminded of the things you did yesterday, right?
Yes.
That was your emotions.
Eh.
So when were you in the spirit? When were you like now? More spirit thing is not. I'm not.
When
about
I'm in
that.
the spirit now, it's no longer about me and how I feel. It's no longer about me and how I feel.
It's
So
about
that is why sometimes you would even see me maybe rolling, speaking in tongues and all of those things.
Go on, now, more spirit thing.
In a way.
So I need to roll and speak in tongues.
No.
So that I can be
So I
spirit.
can be
No,
spirit.
you don't have to do that.
So
The
I can't
spirit will
emotionally
lead you
roll.
what to do. You can't emotionally roll.
Why can't I emotionally roll?
You can't.
Why can't I emotionally roll?
All right, guys, get wrong. Let's move to the next topic.
Movie.
No.
movie.
I don't
Let's move to the
understand.
next
I don't
topic.
understand. Why
Let us
are
send
we
Talohan.
taking
Let us send
emotion out
Talohan.
of it? Why are we taking emotion
I'm not
out
saying
of
let's take emotions out of it. Guys, I'm saying just simply because we are in emotions doesn't mean we are in spirit.
Yes,
You don't want to
yes,
get
and you
that.
are right.
You don't want to get that.
We
We
just want to
agree.
get why is there a problem? Like
I'm saying,
we
Tosh,
get that,
do you know this song? Yeah, Kelly Kumalo and Mamse. Wabethela ngayami esipama. You know that song. It can put you in spirit.
because you're like a kid.
Not necessarily.
I think maybe
Not necessarily.
Why can't it
You
put
can't
you in
support
spirit?
me.
Why can't it put you in the spirit?
Why?
I don't think it can.
I think
For
it's
you
melody.
personally.
Why?
Okay, for me personally, I
Why,
don't
why
think
can't
it can.
it put you in the spirit?
I don't think.
Because you say Jesus
It's
was.
I
a
don't
him
thi-
issue then.
I don't
It's a
think.
him
you.
issue.
Oh, it's a
Thank
him.
you.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Because I mean worship. I think also because we have classified this idea of worshiping God into the tears, highly fast songs. Then that's praise, which is vibing, and then when it's slower songs, then now we can get connected and emotion. But I think the important thing is the words.
Like, for
the
example-
truth comes from that.
Like for
You ha-
example.
yeah.
Sorry. For example.
More
the-
interjectana, so.
For example, the song Lomu Songaka Wanele Bonk. It's not a worship song. It's not a worship song.
Okay, you might be right. Okay.
I'm right. It's
probably
not a
right,
worship
yeah.
song.
Okay,
Is it
cool.
a worship song? But it can trigger your emotions. Hore musawa hai, ungwanele le nna. But it doesn't necessarily mean when you are singing it, you are worshiping.
So then what's the problem?
Like, what's the problem?
Let's get to the other topics. I got a topic it's like Anna. It's over wrong. Guys, how long cover in a room? How long cover in a room with 4 people cover right? Guys,
No, it's fine.
No, it's not fine.
guys,
I'm trying to say,
how long cover in a room
that gets me
cover
more
right?
So are you saying?
I'm tired of being a confused person. So
I'm
like,
so confused.
Yeah, I think I'm also confused. It's fine.
Are you so confused?
Yeah, I think I'm also
You
confused.
want
It's
us to
fine.
help you get out of this confusion.
No, it's fine. This
But I'm so confused.
No, this, as Karabo said, this is a me thing. I know when I am worshiping in truth
Yes.
and in spirit.
It's a you
And
thing.
I know when
so
I'm not.
you're no project.
Yeah.
Now and I know
So
when
you're
I'm not.
getting used to
So
lead worship
and
cry.
and cry.
Thank you.
I mean, if
In a way, Tosh, if I'm a worship leader, I start singing, I cry, I go, baby, ka 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 ka. It's it's likely or everyone in the church will join. And some of them will be in spirit and in truth, and I will be not. And some just because they are crying, they will be not. And some because they are jumping the most. I'll be
Can I just say?
interject.
Yes,
Come on,
Hori.
interject that.
Hori, at the end of it all, only you know with God.
Yes.
One thing our pastor said today was that now we can only see on the surface. You can lie to us, but God knows the truth.
God
Whatever you
knows
do,
the truth.
Wherever you are responsible for it, and you will need to account for it.
Yes.
Finish
Yes.
and clap.
And I think look at Wednesday, he said some of these things. Or yes, this in his words, he even said, or the ones who are jumping the most, or the ones who are praying the loudest at this prayer meeting, you find out that they are not even praying in their
That's the
homes.
thing.
That's what I'm saying. Or just because someone what champa, most of the time, it doesn't mean that they are necessarily
We're
worshiping.
not having about why. Leave
Okay,
those
now
people
that's
alone.
what Sheba about. Okay, I gotta share.
When I fix you.
Now I will fix how I look at
About
people.
other people in that
And then the next time when
Take
you're crying,
Kazantosh,
ask yourself.
like take Kazantosh, wrong.
How wrong? You just
I
you
think
need to like
yes. I think
sit
I
down
need.
with
Which
yourself.
state did you think Jesus was when he said, "This cup must pass him"? Do you think he was emotional or he was in the spirit?
He knows.
He was emotional.
He was emotional.
Yeah.
So that means it's okay to be emotional.
Yeah.
If Papa Arno edits it,
Yes.
it's okay.
It's okay to be emotional. I never said it's not
So
okay.
that means
But he said he
it
was
works
taking
in
emotion
accordance
out.
to God.
I'm not saying. I said all of these things. They
It
must
works in accordance
connect.
to God's
They
things.
have to work together. They have to work together. We feed our soul most of the time. We feed our emotions. We don't feed our spirit. That's what I'm saying. And you shall worship the Lord in spirit and in truth.
But
Just because you are worshiping Him in truth
Can we
doesn't
speak
mean.
about truth? Well, truth.
What
being
is the
truthful
truth?
of your emotions at that very moment?
So what if
Yes.
what if we start
Like
that
I don't
emotion?
remember that everyone, so-
No. What if it starts that emotion?
Yeah, like
I'm there, I'm emotional, and then while I'm emotional, by intercede, and then I become spiritual.
Yes.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong.
So then there was
okay.
nothing to
So-
discuss.
so 20 minutes.
There was something, guys. We all learn from each
Okay.
other. We all learn from each other. You can't say
Thank
there
you
was
very
nothing.
much.
But have you learned?
Yeah, I
That's my
did learn.
question.
I did learn.
What's your take from this?
My take is I should mind my own business, and I'll do that.
100%.
Karabo.
Bazalwane.
When I go, there are places that when I go to, Tosh knows and everyone knows. Now there are places that when I enter, I will know. It's not my problem, or it's a
Discernment.
gift. It's discernment.
It's okay.
There was a point, Karabo. I even told you, Hore. Sometimes when you jump, I see how genuine your jump is. I can see that it's not my fault. It's not my fault, but I can see that she's in spirit and in truth. And then if I see this one is not, it's also not my fault. There was a point at the church where everyone was speaking in tongues. I only saw one young man. This young man was the one who was there. Umote. Go high, back home. I was like, when the rest, I can say,
Sure.
So mind your business. No. Go. What's the moral of the story?
The moral of the story is let us feed all the aspect of our lives
All right.
so that we can be able to worship God.
Emotion, you're
I didn't say that. I never said the remove emotions.
Not emotional.
He
Oh,
said what he said.
I never said you must remove. I'm saying.
Also me.
I'm saying.
If I can't come to church emotional, then
Yeah, like
honestly.
emotion. It's
Also come in spirit.
No,
Also
of
come in
course,
spirit.
of course. But if
No,
I'm
that
leaving,
kind of-
if I'm leaving,
Ooh, Karabo.
Also, can I just I'll call
When I
you out.
just
Yeah,
just
when
said.
I
What's that interject?
Said something about sometimes it's about continuously going to church and being renewed every time you go. So sometimes you start as an emotional person as you go to church, but then slowly but surely you're being renewed, and now you're able to walk in spirit because that has been dealt with. So it leaves people who are emotional to go to church and learn. As they learn and grow, they will, fellowship.
Thank you.
differently.
That's what I'm saying.
And then
emotion is
number two,
No one
I
said the emotion must be removed.
I
Continue.
think also
Okay.
we need to learn what to do with discernment. Once
Yes.
I have discerned something,
Yes.
what do I do with that? I think
Yes.
that will
O tla mo
help.
podcasting o tlo bua ka eng?
No,
Le tlo bua
there,
ka
there
eng?
must be an end to this idea of discernment, or what solution does it bring?
Yes.
Once I've discerned that
Yes.
there's something happening here that's not supposed to be happening, right? Do I talk to the person, or what's happening? You know, so I think that he needs to find out for himself. Okay, I have discerned this.
I
what
have
do do?
discernment.
Omo
What do I
prophet.
need to do with the discernment?
Yes.
Karabo, you get me, because it's not.
It's
It's not my fault. Or I can see when people
it's not.
they are not in spirit and in
Yes.
truth.
Oh.
Maybe
It's
we
not
need
my
to pray
fault.
for these people.
Emanat, wamiti tosh. If I toshi Mike, awopele ne, relko kerekeng ne, diman awopele. A lot of people will be emotional. Kereke ne renko ne bale emotional because awopela toshi. It doesn't mean they were in spirit. Ne ba no ba emotional. It doesn't mean they were in spirit.
Sensational.
And I'm saying let's
Why can't
let's go all out together. You understand?
Nna Johnson ke le mo side-eng la
Oh, no, you're never on my side. I don't even need sight. I'm just saying, feed your spirit as much as you're feeding your
How do you
emotions.
feed your
Yes.
spirit?
How do you feed your spirit? I always say this in all of the podcasts. I always say this: studying the word, meditating on the word, worshiping, praying.
So
All
go
of
watch
those.
episode 2.
Go watch episode 2. I always
Or
say all of
3.
those
Ah.
things.
In case you haven't seen the other episodes.
Yeah.
Yes,
go watch
but that's
episode
the things I always say, because it's easy to feed our emotions. It's
100%.
easy. It's easy, but it doesn't mean we are in spirit. And let's move to the next
Okay,
topic.
speaking of which, right? Okay. Since re bua ka emotion and whatnot, right? I was speaking to this lady. So this lady said something about fasting. We were speaking about fasting, right? And she said to me that she doesn't fast food, right? She fasts what she likes the most,
Yes.
like
Like she
sugar.
doesn't fast food like
Eh,
McDonald's.
And
Okay,
you-
so continue. Continue.
Yeah, cool, and then the jokes are So she doesn't fast food like everybody does, right?
Okay.
She fasts like sugar, maybe fat only, maybe the phone and whatnot. And now for me, I felt like she's being woke. It's giving woke Christian vibes. Now that thing, agrumelan leo. Now, how do you say what's can you give me at least a teaching on fasting, Yana?
Okay, why,
Like-
Tosh? Why you feel like it's giving woke
Yeah,
vibes?
why?
Eh?
I agree
Why?
with you.
Like
I don't agree with him.
okay,
I
what,
don't agree with
let's,
him
let's,
either.
let's,
I don't
let's-
agree with him.
Okay,
Even I
okay, why you
don't.
don't agree with me?
When I tell us
Nah,
why
the
first
thing
you
is,
think
can't
she's
see
wrong.
who the brele. Who you looking at? So,
Now
who
you just
always
want to
man-
like Moyona. Tosh, you got Tosh. They
No,
got
'cause you said, why don't you agree? I don't know if you're looking at me or if you're looking at him.
Oh,
Okay,
like you
Tosh.
said he doesn't agree.
they got
Oh,
to
okay.
be a why. A why are you
I-
think she's
why?
giving woke vibes?
Yeah. So for me, fasting, right? How I know fasting, ke go ehlisa nama, right? For me,
Disciplining the flesh in a way.
yeah.
Okay.
So to reduce the flesh, and you are eating, how are you reducing the flesh? Only ka sugar. Is that what you're telling me?
But then, okay, continue.
Is that no? I'm done. You
Oh,
said
you're
but
done.
then.
You're
Talk.
done.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But Shongsta, you wanna say something?
No, continue. I'll
But
come in.
then Tosh.
What tla bua?
But then Tosh.
Uh,
Say maybe I struggle with social media, for example.
Exactly.
Should I now get it medijo because I struggle with social media?
Are you not?
No.
It's not about struggle.
It's not about struggle.
It's
Fasting
about
is not about
disciplining
struggle.
your
First of all, the
body.
problem is fasting for a struggle.
Yes.
That's where the problem starts.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Right.
But it's okay to fast.
It's
on
okay
it.
to
Yeah.
fast, but fasting in
So
general.
what is the
is
context?
that-
Oh,
that we are
the
talking
context.
about.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
it's-
a
it's
different
not-
context.
That's a
Are we talking
different
about
context.
fasting in context of fasting a certain thing?
We're not, it's not, we
Biblical.
said fasting.
Yeah.
So when we talk about fasting, we're not always talking about a certain thing. That you can do on your own. It's a personal thing. Everybody has their own struggle.
Yes,
So
yes,
it's
yes,
personal.
yes, yes. Like
so
me,
now,
if I'm
no,
fasting, ke roba la ko fasa, ke roba le ko mpeto.
yeah, like
it doesn't
that's-
necessarily.
it doesn't necessarily mean it's fasting for
Yes.
us. For me, cannot be fasting because na ke tlhoka go robala mo fatshe, right? Me, I don't have a problem with sugar, so it's not fasting. So we're talking about fasting in general. Generally, ho ehlisa nama, ho bua le Modimo ka nama e botse.
Yes, and
And
fasting
then-
also helps your spirit to grow. So it's one of the
Yes,
things that you can do.
exactly.
Also fast. You
100%.
understand?
Exactly. So now, when you say I never fast like that. When we're speaking about general fasting, I don't fast like that. Me personally, I just fast sugar.
Oh, Masayandele. Because I think people, I think people are looking for themselves in the things of God.
100%.
That's the thing. I think that's why they're missing it.
So much I think like final.
Actually, I think like people are looking for themselves.
What's
You
the
understand?
definition of fasting? Let's start there.
Glue, glue.
Humble
Glue.
yourself. I was looking at it now. It's to humble yourself in the sight of God.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I think
That's the definition of fasting.
Oh, you want the general definition
No,
of fasting?
Yes,
like
fasting.
in general.
Yeah, titi
Yeah,
madi.
like- Let's go general.
What is the definition of fasting?
Fasting is a spiritual discipline that is taught in the Bible. Jesus expected his followers to fast, and he said that God rewards fasting. Fasting, according to the Bible, means to voluntarily reduce or eliminate your intake of food for a specific time.
Your
Eh,
intake of food.
Balanto, yes.
Ipita
Your intake of what?
Yes, I have.
That definition of fasting.
Okay, yes.
Yes,
that's the
it's
definition.
to voluntarily reduce or eliminate your intake of food for a specific time and purpose.
Oh, yes.
So sugar seafood.
it is
It
food.
is.
But when you say now, I can only do
Because
sugar.
I'm just thinking now, if someone is
Ish.
fasting, ne?
Ish.
Ish, wait.
Continue.
If someone is fasting,
Go
in
ikere,
general, ne? And that's not a difficult thing for that person to do.
No, we're
What
not
is,
always
what, is,
difficult.
what is the purpose of it if that person can say, you know what, now my struggle, as much as it's food, but also sugar in itself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why can't I remove that also?
That's a
do.
personal struggle. So you do it.
Man, that is
on
the
a-
struggle, personal.
Yeah, yes.
And you get a
So
relationship
you
like
move
that.
it.
Yeah,
you.
you-
So it's personal.
So that one-
Fasting is not for the church or for the pastor.
Yes,
It's personal.
exactly.
So I'm removing
Struggle.
this.
Please.
I
keyword
can't.
struggle,
I'm
personal
removing
struggle.
this so that I can be closer to God spiritually and all of that. What is the problem?
There's nothing wrong with that.
And Shogi, when I also research what is the problem? You know what is the problem? It's like, no, Shogi, what is the problem?
are
It's like
talking,
whatever
we're
that we
having
are
a
trying to make
conversation.
sense, we are not making
Yeah, that's
sense.
making sense.
Wouldn't you
How
answer the let's say 20 minutes ago? What is the problem?
No,
What's the problem?
I was listening.
So
What's the problem? Shogi, there is a problem. There is a problem. Because Tosh, you know what?
Yeah,
ne? Guys, I think the person whosoever, ne, in a way now I feel like they are not wrong.
We're not saying they're wrong.
Listen,
We never said they are
listen.
wrong.
So then what's the problem?
I get it's a hook.
I'm coming.
Yeah,
Wait, I'm coming. I was just joking when I said
Right.
then what's wrong. I feel like there are different ways of doing fasting.
Yeah.
But for them to say when I fast, meaning all the time, I just decide or I do this, then it's wrong.
But there's
Exactly.
one way, like
No
the
terror percent
Bible.
lie.
The Bible
I
says
understand it,
eliminating
but also
of
because
food.
The context of that person, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with saying I'm removing this from my life so that I can
Because
be closer
again,
to
Josh,
God.
one of the fasting
We
is
never
different.
said the thing is Luna batata lerato araba before Lucas
Oh,
told.
okay.
Ah,
We never said-
kasheko ke rona.
When we
Kasheko ke
started,
rona.
we even said we're not saying it's wrong. Kara even backed me on that.
I'm not saying it's
we
wrong,
are not
yeah.
saying it's wrong. We're saying we're putting the context of fasting, right? And they say when I fast, regardless. Oh,
Yeah, it's not.
regardless.
Regardless.
Regardless of whatever's happening, I choose that I'll eat and just remove sugar. Right? This is my everyday fasting practice. It
That is-
doesn't matter what's going on.
But maybe
Right.
it's not the everyday practice. I'm just saying that sometimes people feel that bona they want to remove certain things
Bro,
from their
that's
lives.
And it's not wrong. Like I sometimes fast social media myself.
Yes.
I delete all this social media until that's what I'm
Now,
saying.
like
It's
I've
not
been
wrong.
fasting Facebook for the
Yeah.
last 4 months now. Access any
Actually,
Facebook.
TikTok. Like Buffett.
Yeah, I do fast from TikTok every now and again.
Actually, TikTok. Look, WhatsApp, guy delete.
Mara
So what's the
So
problem?
It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Shogi upherile
Now, okay, what's the problem? The problem is making that a fasting, that concept, like the
Taking
main
it out of
fasting.
context,
So now you're taking
yeah.
the whole thing of Huitimadijo and whatever, right?
And then you
As
decide
fasting,
when you're
and you decide
going
that this is fasting. This is
No.
the only thing that's happening.
Mara, that's not
You are
say-
not wrong. But if
No.
you're taking now away the concept of fasting,
Fasting,
and
alright.
saying this is fasting,
I
this
need
is
you,
how
I
I
need
feel
you.
that it's just being woke.
Can we just say though, because now I'm gonna close this.
Close it, my
Yeah,
girl.
go like
It's
it's
all-
It's what?
all-
whether you're fasting or not, you're not going to make it to heaven. That's why.
Yes.
You are not.
Yes.
Because we are debating about this thing, the right way to do it, and
Or the
we're
wrong
missing
way.
the point.
Thank you.
At the end
Oh,
of it all.
Mandala.
Yes, at
So,
the end,
Sha.
my man. At the
Now
end of it,
I'm gonna argue that.
Emma, just wait.
listen. At
No,
the
you
end of
can't
it
argue.
all,
It's all.
Aritswale, we still
At
have
the
like
end of it
15
all,
minutes
the
to go
Bible
then.
says- I get on the Bible. We're inspired by what happened in the times of in the Bible and whatever,
Sure.
right? So we're inspired by what Daniel did, because we didn't usually fruits and vegetables when everybody else was eating other things. And his friends ate
Concept.
yes.
Yes.
That the context of it there was I get it. So we can see the importance of Redeemer, these fatty foods and all those things, to eat the natural things that God gave us.
Cool.
Because then re thola matla moo, re ja dintho in their natural form. Awesome. So we fasted from things that make us fat and, give us those bad skins and stuff, right?
Plus
Fine.
size. You don't body shame
Awesome.
here.
Yeah. Oh,
We don't have to
sorry.
fat check us. in here.
Guys, I'm fat myself, so I'm sorry for.
Or fat check.
Please continue.
Yes. So we get that fasting idea from Daniel. That's the first one. We are inspired by that kind of fasting.
Right,
But then we
yes.
have another one where Jesus says men cannot eat
that's
by
what I was
bread
saying.
alone.
Live.
Cannot live, sorry.
Yes.
Cannot live by
I
bread
thought about
alone.
it.
Matthew 4 verse 4. I think.
Yeah, I got it.
Men cannot, men cannot live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. So also that inspires us to say, I cannot keep eating. Let me take the word as my form of food. Right? So everything else, any intake, let's let go of it and focus on the word. The time I should be eating, let me read the word. And if there's any other distractions, all these things are distractions. TVs, phones, anything that disturbs my process and my moment of intimacy with God, I fast from. So I can have a healthier relationship with Him. Because from fasting, like we said,
Thank you.
inspires growth in your spirituality. So once you have let go of your phone, yes, once you've let go of your phone, your TV, you realize my relationship with God is growing, and it inspires you to continue. Right? So,
So what's
but
your
the
point?
essence of it is food.
No.
The essence of it
The
is
essence
food.
of it is food.
Yes.
The essence. I mean.
The essence.
Yeah.
But
Thank
again,
you.
as she said, there are so many different ways of fasting, even in the Bible itself.
Thank you.
You understand? Even in the Bible itself.
Yes.
Le mo dikerekeng, le ko dikereke ba khona re botsa ra guys, le kana la no juice la no metsi la no cold drink as long as le sa di dito. You understand?
Cool.
It-
Get that? I get that. Yes.
There's a different way of doing it.
And every church has their own way. Again.
Not necessarily,
necessarily.
Most churches.
but
Not the
Have you gone to every church?
No.
Wow, so you won't know.
but the
some
point
do
Karabo
differently,
made
yeah,
is
they do.
whether we're
Thank
faster or how fasting, as long as you don't have an actual relationship with God.
Yes.
O tlo ya di heleng o fastile 4
Thank
days.
you.
So you're
40 days.
Joe, you're not ready to fasting about going to heaven and hell.
We just say
Life is like that.
let it
That's
inspire
life.
the
That is
relationship.
life.
Let it inspire your relationship with
Thank
God.
you.
Let
You need to
it
get
grow.
closer to God. And the whole
Let it
fasting,
get
you
you-
have more chances. If you are genuinely fasting,
you have more chances
you have
than-
more
you have
chances
more
of getting
chances
to
to go to
heaven.
heaven, yeah.
Yes, because you are closer to God now
Okay.
than you
Or
were
if you
yesterday.
die while you are fasting.
Exactly.
Like if you die if you were fasting. If you die while you were fasting.
Fasting, yeah. If you die when you are fasting
Hey.
now and you are too close to
Listen.
God,
But-
and you have closed
That
everything
is a lie.
No, no, that's a
out of
lie.
that.
Are you guaranteed?
That's a
You're
lie.
all getting Peter of it.
That's a lie, Josh.
Joe.
Josh, just because you are fasting, what if you are not praying?
Thank
The
you.
Only
only
Timile
exception
Jotel.
Like
you
so
have.
fasting and praying goes like don't try to make it now, break it down, or now you are fasting, you're not praying, now you are fasting, you're watching TV. Don't break it down. Let's put fasting. We know that you can't fast without praying.
You
And
can,
reading
they
the word.
can.
That's you. No one else died.
It's not me.
The person that's doing
Yes.
that is under
Yeah,
that. So
It's
that's
under
it's not
that.
fasting.
It's not fasting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So fasting goes hand in hand with prayer. We can't
Okay.
remove it from it.
All right.
Fasting goes hand in hand with reading the word. So we're not removing anything. Fasting, we are encompassing everything. Let's go.
So what's the problem? So what's the problem?
Mamela.
So what I'm
Why
saying.
I can know
Karabo,
So that's my point there
Mamela,
now.
I wanna get
And then
back
that wrong. You have better chances
Who has a bigger
of
space,
going
guys?
to heaven
I wanna
when
get
you
to
were
that.
when you were fasting than when you were not.
Hey, wait,
It's a wrong.
let's get to that.
It's a wrong.
Arison.
Mamela. There
You're
is
gonna learn
one,
cancer.
hey, there's one way to the Father.
Wordy.
There is only one way.
You're gonna take it back again.
No, there's
You're gonna
only,
take it
Mamela,
back.
you're
The
saying,
only one way is accepting Jesus and having
Yes.
Jesus and confessing.
Yes.
We're already there. That's why we are fasting, guys. Like
that is
in this
inspired
context,
after.
in this
Karab-
context, we are fasting because we have accepted Jesus. We are fasting because we wanna pray. Don't go back. Don't go back. We are fasting because we're already Christians. We already accepted Jesus. We already confessed with our mouths and stuff.
Mara, you're not a bad person for
So
not
I'm
fasting.
saying, I'm not saying you are.
Yes.
I'm saying you have better chances of
Of
getting to heaven when you are fasting than when you are not. That's my
there's
point.
no such thing.
There's
Oh
no
my
such
God,
thing.
like,
What's
it's
the guy?
not- no,
What's the guy?
eh, that's why ke re-
It wrong.
Fidelity ya molao.
Ke batla go ba wrong. No, that's why ke nyaka le ho ba wrong if you are wrong. But my point here
What
is
is your point?
when you are fasting, you become closer to God. If you are doing so immediately when you are closer to
I'm
God,
judging you.
that means your flesh is very far from you. That means you have better
Then
chances
let's
of
fast our
going.
whole lives, guys.
Yeah, we can.
Because you
Even
understand,
now.
Hori.
No, it doesn't mean that when you are not fasting you won't get to heaven. English says better chance. Better chances means
Hi,
if
He's right.
because of it. No,
You have a better chance. Guys,
Escort money ka hana.
better chance.
Ntho e bolelang ha
Guys,
e
o
le
tla
seo.
bona better chance.
Escort money ka hana.
Fidelity ya molao di moo. Better chance.
Better chance.
Listen to what I'm saying, guys. Listen to what I'm saying. Ne? What I'm saying is, if now
I wanna go
Hofetoja-
back. Bothata ke hore I wanna go back wrong.
Let's wrong.
Oh, let's listen.
What I'm saying is, right now Hofetoja, ne? If your chances of making it to heaven, not only 50%, when you fasting you have 70.
How? It was like,
Scriptural reference.
Yeah.
So you gotta start a whole book
That is-
so that you can put that point.
Give my point. Yes, thank you.
Okay, moving to the next topic.
Thank you. Next
Thank
topic.
you.
But you're still wrong anyway. Thank
Yeah, I never said I'm right.
I
But
don't
I'm
know
saying, Hore, you have better chances.
Thank you.
I don't think so.
No,
I
no,
doubt
no,
it.
Come with your point. Come with your point.
No, I don't have a point, but I doubt.
Yeah.
I doubt
fine.
what you're saying
Let's go
because
on to the next topic.
because
Oi.
I agree with doubt.
Yeah,
No,
we
it's
all
okay.
doubting you.
we all doubting you.
Maramatete one doubt and 4 point his
Oh,
side of it.
I had a point. He said
Yeah,
that.
but he's giving me his side of it.
Well, okay.
So
Because
we can-
my side of it, Tosh,
yeah,
is
sorry.
the thing is when you will say, already you have a relationship with God. Sometimes you're not. There are people who are fasting but in a relationship with him. So that's why when I said, okay, so we're not gonna take it back, then it means we're not gonna be able to make our point. So which
Okay,
means
make your point.
it remains which means it remains for what
no,
you have
'cause
said,
now you wanna
it's right.
What, you know what my thing is? In what I'm saying, you wanna remove certain aspects, right? And then nagi waka general fasting, doing it genuinely and everything.
Oh.
When now you wanna come with maybe you're not doing it right? That's your point is maybe you're not doing it right.
Yes.
Maybe you're not praying. Maybe you're not saved. You bringing other
Yes,
Yes.
Utosh, makakhuluma
That's the
nge-fasting.
aim of
Uba
the podcast,
emotional.
to talk about a
Ngibona
topic
ngibiza umuntu
from
omdala
every
azosinceda.
aspect.
No,
But
but
info-
if topic is ebile matafoleng ifelletse, why should you remove things to make your
About
point?
a movie, they
You know,
also
if
say,
you start- if
look
you-
at it from this direction. Look at it from this direction.
No, but if you start to remove the thing, you are fasting and you're not praying, you are removing stuff, and now it defeats the whole purpose. We're arguing like now. If you're saying you are not born again, you're removing aspect. We're talking about this thing, knowing all these things.
Okay.
All these things are already there, put on the table. So when you start now removing stuff, it's like now you're gonna argue. I know I love arguing, but
Yeah, no,
like we're
yeah.
arguing pointlessly.
Okay.
Okay,
Next
thank you.
one.
Next topic.
Next one, Tosh. You've got the
It's
point.
just that I'm on fire. Now I have to move to the next point, which is homosexuality in the church.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
Lord.
If
Oh,
I cringe.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
we're closing this with this one. We're
Yo,
closing
yo,
with this
yo. Yo. They know about sexuality.
So, as we are RTG, disclaimer, we're not killing, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not trying to kill anyone. We're not trying to be offensive. We're just speaking.
We are unfiltered church.
And we are not homophobic. We're trying to be as unfiltered as possible.
Yes.
Re na le batho- sorry.
Oh, you are being.
Already?
You are being.
Okay, so
Tosh, what cancela? Sanser thome channel go fast.
guys, mara nna ke re ka ba rata.
Ka ba itse ro ba
Yeah,
rata.
wait.
Ka itse ro ba rata.
Fulela without the action.
Okay, so nna ke kgone
Ka
ho
itse ro ba rata Tosh.
I want,
And
I
they will
want, I
support
want
that way.
everybody's take on homosexuals in the church. Like, I can rata the
Like,
aspect
what
ka
is-
lona.
Like, I'll take how? Homosexual
What
people
we
going
think
to
about
church.
it.
Yeah, what do you think
What do you think
They're
about
going
it?
to church.
Yeah.
Rehani.
That's your
Ah,
perspective.
My man.
Shongi, when
Shongi,
Shongi, when you're suspended till further notice. I don't like your vibe today.
No, Rehani.
I don't like
nah.
Shongi's
Baby,
vibe
gotta give
today.
you a lot or something.
No. If my friend
No, I
is,
don't like your vibe
if my
today.
friend is gay and he's like, I want to come to church with Gehani.
No, sorry, sorry,
Don't ask us questions. Tell us what's your take
You're
on
thinking
it.
that you would maybe
And
say
re
something
tla
like,
hlaka one
I
wa-
don't see anything wrong with them coming to church.
I don't.
Yeah, that should be your take. Usara butso rohane.
No, get Rehani. No, that's
My
my
man,
point.
point.
can I just say that the reason why we're having so many different opinions about this whole idea of homosexuality in the church dates back to, I guess, the Bible and when Sodom and Gomorrah, God wiped out
Yeah.
Ora.
So people have an interpretation that God, I mean, even the Bible just says that a man should not be
Lay
sleeping
with
with another
another
man,
man, yes.
a woman, all those things.
Yes.
So our
Argument about it, or
standing,
what if they are not sleeping? But anyway, continue.
Get lay.
Sorry.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
So our understanding of that is we're not supposed to be around people like that. But then we remember what Jesus did on the cross and how, he taught us to walk in love. However, the Bible still says, because we have this idea that we don't listen to the Old Testament, it's just to teach us something, yada, yada,
Yada, yada, yada.
and then, hey, okay, the New
Da, 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 da,
Testament, but then the New Testament also says the homosexuals and all the other people, the sexually immoral, will not see or enter the kingdom of God. So we are still torn between that, this idea of love, what do I do with it? But personally, this homosexuality.
So personalize, we look cancel our no one. So no, we are as
Listen,
podcasting.
yeah, no, look.
Cancel
look.
our vote.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
With homosexuality, my take on that is, I feel like we're focusing on this sin, forgetting that drinking and getting drunk is a sin. Sleeping around is still a sin.
I like her.
Killing.
Gluttony or
But
gluten is
why
still a
are we
sin.
singling out the
Exactly.
homosexuality part as the one that's wrong and
Yes.
everything else is,
Mara-
Stopping
Bazalwane,
stopping
that is
at the
our
point of
nature.
penetration
That
is
that
still a sin.
Amen. Guys, let me tell you something.
Just because Lunala Sinan and then let's stop at the point of penetration, you think it's not sin. It's still a sin.
Listen.
It's still a sin. It's so no. It's so no.
Bazalwane, downfall arena is that we judge the biggest. And we look at other people's sins and then we forget that Lorena, we are sinning. It's just our
Okay.
sins, you can't see them. Or
But then
whatever
what's
it
your
is.
take on homosexuality at
Yeah.
church?
That's what I'm saying. Hori. If a homosexual is at church, like, what?
So-
why?
so-
Why is there? Why are they?
Okay.
Why is their sin bigger than my sin
Okay, so they should just stay that.
at church?
They
Stay
should,
what?
no, they should just stay
No,
homosexual.
Mara, that's a personal
No.
thing. Their homosexuality or they were like no,
But-
it's,
but-
that's a,
no,
it's a them thing.
Okay.
But here's my
Okay, I
thing.
disagree
Gotta-
with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before you come in,
Okay.
my thing is, I said this even in the previous episode. I said this, Karabo, I come. Kibrada, okay, all right. I come there, you understand? I'm thinking, my saying is this. I need to be frank with myself and frank with God and say, God, these feelings are real.
Yes.
I really do feel like a woman, but I know that it's wrong.
Yes.
You understand? And I need your help because yes, God, now I feel like Ikamusadi. You understand? And that's how I feel. And my feelings for men,
Emotionally not important. Anyway.
my feelings for men are real. You understand? And I need help with that because in your word you say these people, they shall not make it to the kingdom of heaven. I want to make it, but I come with you as I am. I come to you as I am. And this does not only go to homosexuality and stuff. It goes with everything. As I said.
Yes.
God, I struggle with nicotine. You understand? I struggle with pornography. I struggle with all of those things. You understand? You need to put them before God and say, the Bible says, cast all your burdens.
Yes.
You understand?
It's
Okay,
burdens.
it's burdens. Cast your burdens unto Jesus, for he cares for you.
Cast your burdens.
Okay, cast your burdens. Karabo.
I'm looking for a certain scripture, but I don't want to quote it and then I quote it out of context. However, there's a scripture I remember about Kuri, the sins, the weight of sin in essence is that some of them lead to death. There are forgivable sins and all those things. Maybe we have placed homosexuality as one of those things that we cannot forgive. And I think...
Not forgive you. Sorry.
Oh yeah, true.
But as communities as well.
Yeah, as communities we have classified sin.
Yes.
You know, because I get it, so then we think we're good and we're healthy because we've hidden them, and then the one with the sin that is exposed, we think our shame. Yes.
Like kokasi rada ba tloele spijo o ba mitseng o re tshwara po mara ba tsamaye ba lo attack thabang o la ba itse gore okay.
Thank you.
And also I think that just as a person who's homosexual and a drunkard, the key is to know that God can change you back into the form that He made you into, right? So that
imagine Buga love Kimurut anyway.
You understand?
Yeah.
Buka love ke moruti jo. Wa mitse re buka love ke mang? Hey. No, I saw we're just putting it out there. God can really change people.
Yeah, there's a lot
Whether
of
you've been
people.
swallowed, it can change you.
It has been
You
done
understand?
before. But also I think the key is to want to be changed. I guess.
Yes.
Hey, yeah.
So the key is one team.
Wanting to change.
Yeah,
And
Hey.
then not it's any feel.
Luana touch personally. Luana touch personally.
So we're answering you. What you saying?
Anyway, yeah. You were saying, Matiti.
Now I'm done saying. I was just saying.
You're not saying, but you were just saying.
You were just saying.
I was just saying. Let's put it before God. Everything.
Amen.
You understand? Let's put it before God. And Joe, there are so many things that would still take you to hell, and there are so many things that would still not save you just because you're doing them. You understand? So everything. Let us look at let us look at ourselves and really try to become
out your
more.
own salvation.
Yes,
Yeah,
work out,
amen.
become more like Him. Just because Ola Arlen, I will be with you in paradise, he didn't become like Him, but he made it to paradise. You're gonna make it. Well, now you have to be more like Him. You understand? Let's become more like Him. Let's forget about ourselves.
The essence of this topic, right? I remember that church you used to. I promised myself I'm not gonna talk about this church again.
Yeah, man, nice.
Yeah, but
Nice.
so there's this homosexual lady, right? I don't know how to classify well because they didn't chill so.
Kima?
LGBTQWZ. Why am I?
LGTV Smart TV.
That's mocking.
Oh, that's
Thank
mocking.
you. Don't
Mara
lie.
mo okay, here it's a bona ramok. Everything else and ribu mo podcasting, it was not
That's
mocking.
the thing.
Okay.
That's
So
the
you see
thing.
the thing.
Bona ba
which I'm about-
sensitive,
Sensitivity,
Joe.
yeah.
That's why
Sensitivity thing.
that's why
We've been saying a lot of crap, bro.
Yeah.
All right, sharp. Continue.
But because it's them, not
Toshara crap.
Yeah, it is what it is. So that lady asked me if is everybody welcome here, right, in the church. And I said, yeah, I think so. Because but the pastor and he said it in the preaching that
I think
that he wouldn't accept that.
I
So
think
what's
that
the problem?
Shogi, when you're fired. When I,
Hey
I
guys,
think-
you are reading the gospel.
Tosh,
You're not gonna
Tosh.
see Shongi again.
Tosh, no,
Askarka.
if you are representing God, you should
Okay,
let
sharp.
people
One
come.
leader.
Yeah,
Listen.
he's leading
Ramaphosa
that.
second try.
Okay,
What
sharp.
leader?
He's leading that church.
Yes.
Ariana ko kreke yana ai leader. I take it
I'm more
LGBT.
concerned about you.
Yeah.
So
So that means for our accept.
so she
in the
must
church.
find another church.
Bona.
In that church, they don't accept
Bona. Tosh, what I
So,
want to
but
say.
in the church, we
Tosh,
are a body of Christ, right?
Tosh, what I want to say is
Are we
in Twene
not?
Kawata Daman Ola. Kore, everything ne yakore. Yena aska more like Jesus. Yena even Jesus himself. Jesus,
Are they
guys,
so self-ready?
now I can tell
That's
you,
what I'm saying.
guys, now I can tell you that if Jesus was living in our times, the very same way he protected that
Adulterer.
woman, he would still do it with gay and lesbian. He will hug and embrace them and kiss them. But he will say, "Do you would preaching here today? Do you want to be well?
Yes.
Do you want to be well?" Yes, brother. But do you want to be well? Or you want to continue with this? After that, then you pick up your mat and walk, Tosh.
That's good.
Your sins are forgiven.
Yes.
You understand?
up-
Stand up and walk.
Yes.
You understand? All of those things. So Jesus would embrace those people. It's not if a pastor over Jiki said, then I eat into
Exactly.
Good. That's good.
Then you go
That's
to a
right.
better church. And then I prefer a better church.
The
Question
question is then why are we so indifferent about them serving in the church?
Who's we?
Yes.
Not
Wow.
Ladi Kerek.
She's
Not
asking,
Ladi Kerek.
she's asking a
Not Ladi
question.
Kerek.
No, she's asking
She's
us
asking a
community.
question.
You know, there's different. We have different
Yes.
outlooks
Like-
on this.
like
Some
you
of them
said.
don't want the gay people to serve.
Same
Rather
church
be
that you
negative.
said.
Same thing you just
Yeah.
said. We classified it, right?
Yeah.
And it's evident.
Yes.
It's an Joe. I don't think. Never mind. I was gonna say I don't think even if like they are so sure that warubalana they'll let you serve.
Baba trial.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then let's.
So-
Le ba
So
itse
I
la
don't know,
robalana
I
ba
don't-
le tlohela, so-
Ba le tlohela.
So
Dilo tse di tse re tla tlisa baruti.
Yeah.
We'll need to have muruto mo one.
O bitse le morutelo wa go kreke ka my dice.
that man are bunyaki. Because I remember Tosh, I remember we were rehearsing, ne? In the same church, ne? What are this other gay dude, ne? Okay, he looked gay. Why
So you don't
why
know
is he
that he's
gay?
gay?
I can't say he's
Why
gay.
are
dude.
you?
One time, and I wouldn't ask him, why are you gay? You understand? So that guy he came, Tosh, that guy vocally Natsela. And then Mamuruti was saying, Wakwale was saying, or Hio Matito, last night I couldn't sleep. I was hoping that man, no matter what, ask why? What if that song, I leader, that song, imu change a pillow bahaka ofen? Do you understand? Sometimes it takes that.
So le mamuruti na sa itse ke gay.
No, sometimes the evidence is that.
O na le
Ah,
gay da,
come
ke
on.
re no na le gay da le wena. Nna ke o boditse gore a ke ba bone. Ke bona mjito sharp.
So, but ito na le gay da.
Ba mo rutu na le gay da matete na sa mmone.
Na sa mmone, Mamuruti, I
Ba mo
was
rutu
hoping.
ke na mmone o na le gay da.
Okay.
Eish, yeah. ne. Anyway,
Anyway,
ka utlwa le he re bua ka topic e le thomo ba le sensitive le lona.
Yeah,
Ke
no,
thabile gore
cons-
the one people that I could talk such things with. ke
No, I'm not emotional.
No,
I'm
no,
saying
no,
let
no,
us
no, no,
embrace
no,
them.
no,
Homosexuality. We
It's
hate anything God hates. I guess at the
Yes.
end of it all, if homosexuality is wrong, it's wrong.
It's wrong.
If drunkenness is wrong, it's wrong.
It's
Sexual
wrong.
immorality is wrong, it's wrong.
It's wrong.
One, finish and
Ukuya
so
gym
Keeping
is
on
on.
my piano, it's wrong. It's wrong.
Kelemeke.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, if it's wrong, it's wrong. We're not going to sugarcoat it, but we're just saying that then
Rubber
if everything else that we're doing is
Rubber
wrong, why would
Hey, rubber is just a
Hey, yes.
Shogi, Shogi. No, not Shogi. I can say Shogi, I can say
after episode now,
Mara, ke
retire
sena
altar call. After episode.
After every
Retire
episode,
altar call.
retire altar call.
Anyway, guys, I think we went way
Way too
beyond
ahead.
and
Okay,
to
before
finish.
that, Josh.
Are you
Karamo?
to return and return on a
No, I just want to ask. Okay, I can ask her off air, but I
I
want to
ask
ask
her
her.
now.
Who you
How do you
asking?
feel, man? How do you feel about this?
What do you want to be when you grow? Get that.
What do you want to be remembered as,
I
Kata?
want to. I'll answer that question.
No,
I'll
don't
let
answer
you
this one. It's a joke.
No, I'm just saying, how do you feel
How
about
do
the
you feel
entire
now?
But I still
episode?
want to answer the question.
Answer your rubber. That's a rabbit joke.
Karamo is such a baby. Karamo is such a baby.
No, like it's how I feel.
Listen, I feel like more conversations have to be had, regarding all these topics, because we are all just questioning a lot, and we need answers, and I think platforms like this make for those conversations so that
It's a platform,
you
guys.
can
We utlwile.
go
That
back
ain't a
and
platform.
reflect.
Le la la la
No,
matete.
it is.
O boreile
It is.
le thoshe ba shoota di video. This thing is a platform. It's a
And
platform.
I'm feeling prophecy ka yona ka dala.
Mama,
Serious. Oh.
even if it reaches one person, that one person.
Yeah,
is-
that's why not
Yes.
personally like that table the views video tsa matete tseno. Na ke na taba le view. But anyway, armo ka dala ke na taba le lona. Mara ke na taba, mara ke na taba le lona. Anyway, alright, tswala.
Alright, so Shongi, do you want to answer? How do you feel about this whole thing?
Which whole thing?
The podcast.
Ay mara shongile na jo. Askela.
Shongi, today, I think
No, guys, this is good.
you being late, Umu.
No, this is good. This is a good market platform. This is a good platform.
Yeah.
Like you're reaching the right people. We're having great conversations, guys. We're learning every day.
We're learning every day.
Yeah.
Eh mara mungangisitso. Anyway.
So
Guys,
what's
we
the
are
problem?
RTG, and like that we are out. Remember, we are unfiltered church, removing the
facade
and continuing to
love
love
Jesus.
Jesus.
Pe, 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 pe.
Mwah.
Wait, here. Yes.